Well, hello everyone. Before we get into these vile, disgusting creatures known as dispatchers, which we're going to do, I have to tell you guys some very, very sad news, okay? So I need you to sit down and hear me out, listen to what I have to say. This morning, guys, I was a victim of violence. That's right, I was beat up 17 times on Fuel Island just this morning. And I know some of you are saying, well, yeah, Josh, you had it coming this whole time, always on the internet with all those wisecracks. And the best response to humor on the internet that you don't understand is violent assaults, Josh. Of course you deserved every bit of it, but I'm going to tell you the story anyways about what happened to me. Like I said, I was beat up 17 times on Fuel Island this morning. And the worst part about it is I wasn't even parked at a truck stop. That's the worst part. Yeah, I was parked at a rest area. Yeah, these old boys, they must have knew where I was, rolled up on me in the middle of the night and built a portable Fuel Island between me and the restrooms, gambling that I would have to use the bathroom when I got up in the morning. And the gamble paid off because I'm in my 40s. Of course I needed the bathroom when I woke up this morning. Of course I did. Little did I know there was a Fuel Island waiting for me right outside the doors. Yeah. And I walked across it. 17 men, all holding wooden paddles as I walked by, each one taking a turn spanking my cute little butt. I tried saying pineapple, but they didn't stop. Somebody needs to teach them some manners about BDSM because they were really screwing up. Safe words, dummies. Safe words. Anyways, after I got through that gauntlet, I noticed someone barreling towards me at a half a mile per hour on a mobility scooter. I thought he was swinging a chain, but as it turns out, he was holding the hose to his CPAP machine. It had somehow got caught up in the strap for his CPAP mask that was stuck inside one of his neck rolls, and he was madder than a sumbitch trying to get after me, but luckily I was able to outrun him. So now that I've taken you through a normal day, a normal morning in the life of being This Guy Trucks, let's get into the actual topic of what the actual fuck is a dispatcher. Because none of us really know. None of us really know. My theory might be psychopaths. Yeah, might be serial killers if they actually knew how to get away with it. Why do I say that? Because they lack empathy for anyone. They do not give a damn about how other people feel about anything. Oh, sorry, driver. We were unable to get you home. Hey, you know what? We're going to make it up for you. You know how? We got this really hot load right now that needs to get there by tomorrow morning, going the opposite direction from your home. And we know it doesn't do much good for you, but it'd really help us out, driver, if you could go ahead and take that load. That is only the kind of shit that a psychopath would do. That would ever consider to be a reasonable response to the absolute failure of them to just do their job. That's how a psychopath would respond. Hey, I know I screwed you over, but I've got a really good compromise. Bend over, bitch. I'm gonna fuck you some more. Yeah, exactly. Yep, we know how that goes. So let me get a drink here because I kind of overdid it on that intro. I'm getting too damn old for intros with that much energy, guys. Good Lord. Good Lord. Anyways, yeah. I don't even know what the hell a dispatcher is, and gotta be honest with you, I don't think a dispatcher even knows what the hell a dispatcher is. They got absolutely no clue what the hell they are doing. They just launched that load into the atmosphere and it's all taken care of. As soon as the load has been dispatched, it's all done. They have done their job. And maybe to a point that's true when you add in the lack of empathy and psychopathic traits that it takes for you to be a dispatcher. It's obvious that you would think that that is the end of the job and nothing else happens whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if the dispatchers at a trucking company have no idea what all the trucks are doing around that terminal before. I bet you one of these shitheads has pitched to the boss, hey, you know, we'd have a lot more parking spots if we got rid of all these trucks sitting around in the parking lot. And there's probably someone in upper management going, you may be onto something. You may be onto something, because you know a lot of these trucking companies that exist now are owned by shithead spoiled brats where their dad or their grandpa built up a trucking company and now they're sitting there at the top of the damn thing, never have done a goddamn thing in their lives. And they have no idea what a trucking company is either, for the most part. So yeah, we have much more parking if we just got rid of all these pesky trucks. You know that's absolutely a thing that somebody has thought of. You know it is. You know it is. As a matter of fact, if I ran a trucking company, I would fire all the truck drivers. I would. Hell yeah. We'd get a whole lot more dispatching done if we just fired all those truck drivers. They always call in with problems like, oh, I blew a tire, or hey, I'm going to be late on this because they held me for 6 hours load. If I didn't have to answer that phone call, I'd get so much more goddamn dispatching done. That's what we're doing. We're firing all the drivers, we're hiring more dispatchers, and we're gonna be the best goddamn dispatchers this fucking country has ever seen. That broker's gonna call us and say, hey, did you get that load dispatched? I'm gonna say, sure did, boss. I got it dispatched. As a matter of fact, I would have a physical dispatch cannon. You could load it up with whatever you want, don't matter. Catapult might be even more fun, but some people say the trebuchet, is that how you say it, is the superior siege weapon, but I don't fucking know. I would have something that physically launched the loads into the atmosphere, so I had something to show for what I have done. When the broker says, hey, did you get that dispatched? I can show him a sweet YouTube video of me launching the next dispatcher over from me's desk into the fucking atmosphere. I wrote the load number on it, bitch. It's on its way. We'd get so much dispatching done, man, if we got rid of all these truck drivers. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, but I don't think that answers the question, what is a dispatcher, does it? You know what I think a dispatcher is, on top of being a psychopath, besides being a weird, soulless little goblin? Possibly a racist. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I don't have proof that they're racist, but I said it on the internet, so that's all the proof you need these days. You can make any wild claim you want, as long as you say it on the internet. That makes it fact. So, racist. Absolutely, they're racist. I'm just kidding. I hope everybody's gathered that I'm just kidding by now. Sometimes we get about 8 minutes in the video besides somebody's listening to the jokes going, hell yeah, fuck, this guy's speaking my fucking language. And then when they realize I'm making jokes about it, they flip the fuck out. So anyways, terrorist? Absolutely. A dispatcher is absolutely a domestic terrorist. You would have to be. You absolutely have to be a member of Al-Qaeda if your only job in the world is to be a roadblock to the U.S. economy, to be the least efficient part, to do everything in your power to make sure it runs as roughly, because that's the opposite of smoothly, right? As roughly as possible, to make sure that nothing gets fucking done on time. They are absolutely members of Al-Qaeda. They have to be. They absolutely have to be. I think we need to look into it. I think the U.S. government needs to look into dispatchers and figure out who their alliances are really with, because they're not American. They fucking can't be. There's absolutely no way these people are Americans. Not with the damage they do to our economy on a daily basis. Impossible. There's no fucking way. So why am I upset like this? Why am I going off like this? Well, we all got our own story, don't we? I'm sure a lot of you out there have your story about dispatchers. I'm sure you do. But the weird thing about dispatching, it's fucking crazy when you think about it. Besides all the bullshit I just said, a good dispatcher or a good dispatching staff or crew or whatever you could call them can honestly make or break a trucking company. And I don't think that anybody's putting any value on that whatsoever that's in charge of these trucking companies. Trucking companies very, very similar to every other company in America. How can we maximize our profit? How can we reduce wages? All the fucking normal nonsense that we go through. So that's why you end up with a bunch of shitheads that peaked in high school being fucking dispatchers. And the reason I say that is because they still act like the popular kid in high school. Sure, they got a nice smile and they say the right things all the time, but when it comes to actual getting shit done, they don't do a whole fucking lot of that. Not a whole lot of that at all. So that's why you have all these fucking good smile, charismatic shitheads sitting around in fucking trucking offices because they aren't capable of fucking anything else, apparently, I guess, and they're able to pay them low wages, and you get this end result of absolute nonsense, right? But it's kind of weird to think about because, yeah, a good dispatching team could absolutely make or break a company on so many fronts when it comes to working with the drivers. You know, obviously drivers make a lot of requests that don't make any fucking sense whatsoever. Some drivers, this driver's wearing fingerless gloves over here. I better lock the doors. I'm about to get my ass kicked again. Jesus Christ. He's rolling in with fingerless gloves and a giant headset. Guys, it's my last day on earth right now. I done pissed off the wrong super trucker. He knew I was over here recording this, and I am absolutely fucked. I'm sure you guys notice I'm kind of nervous now. It's not because I think he's going to kick my ass. I hate when people sit by me while I'm recording, but whatever. We're going to get through it. I'll just act like I'm on the phone or something. Anyways, oh, what am I trying to say? These soulless goblins, these dispatchers. The other front is actually paying attention and making it more efficient, moving loads. You know, did we need to deadhead that truck 500 miles when there was one 50 miles away? What could we have done to make that driver's home time more efficient so that we're also making the company money, but that driver's getting where they need to go? And I don't think they think about this at all. I've never heard anybody take any pride whatsoever in being a dispatcher. Not one fucking time. Not one time. But it's crazy to me. I mean, how much of the turnover in trucking companies is because just absolute shit dispatchers, right? So I guess I'll get into my part telling you the story about why I'm so angry at dispatchers right now. You guys know that I came to this company and I did about 5 weeks in the truck, and I was supposed to get home time, and they approved the home time 3 weeks ahead of time, no problems, even sent me to the right area. And then about 300 miles from home time, they just decided I wasn't going to get it. Told me I was not allowed to move the truck. I'm a company driver, unfortunately, in that direction. And they told me to just sit there while they look for something else. I threw a little bit of a tantrum, went on a weekend protest, and then ended up on Sunday night finally moving the truck to take a load overnight to LA for them that needed to be done. How sweet of me, right? And all I got was a few, hey, we're sorries. I mean, I guess. I mean, if you're acknowledging it, that's one thing, but doing something about it is another. And I got a bunch of, hey, dude, that was awesome of you to get that load done for us. Thank you so much. Cool, right? That was about 5 weeks into the truck. Then, because, you know, the people I want to go see also have lives. They can't just stop their life whenever I'm coming into town. It requires planning to start doing the next thing. So, what I did was, for about a month after that, they missed that home time that they missed. I decided, okay, now that they screwed up my plans, I have to make plans in 2 different places, right? I have to make plans in 2 different places, but the people I need to see only have certain times that they're available, so I need to look at when they are. So I talk to everyone, I get all the details worked out. It turns out I can stop in one place one weekend, and the very next weekend I can go to another place, right? Okay, cool. By the time I actually do it, we're going to be approaching the 3-month mark in the truck. That's when the schedule all laid out for me, when it all worked out. So we're going to approach about 3 months before I take any time off. One weekend here, the very next weekend over there, right? Send those 2 home time requests in, and sent a message to my dispatcher, said, hey, I sent in 2 home time requests, and I just want to make sure you can acknowledge those for me. And she comes back and says, we can only save one in our system at a time, so you'll have to request the other one after you're done with the first one. And I said, that's a really bad idea, because the next one is just a week out. So literally I'll be in the truck for like 4 to 5 days, and then I'm taking a weekend off again. And she calls me. Guys, check this out. She fucking calls me, right? Do you know what she has the nerve, the absolute nerve to say to me? She says to me, we normally don't do home time on 2 back-to-back weekends because you have to earn your days off. But since we messed up a little bit the last time, we're going to go ahead and make an exception for you. And I fucking lost it. She was saying she was going to do what I needed to, right? But I lost it. Why? The fucking absolute nerve of this woman to tell me that I have to earn my time off before taking more time off. We're talking 3 months straight in the truck. Bitch, I have earned my time off. Are you out of your fucking mind? But then she says, we'll make an exception for you. Because we kinda did mess up a little bit. Have you lost your fucking mind, lady? What did you just say to me? She said, Josh, why are you yelling? I said, because I cannot believe the fucking nerve of you. Did you really just told me? You don't do that. Because I have to earn the time off, but you'll make an exception for me. It gets worse. It gets worse. I hung up on her. Now, I had noticed for the last week or so, I was running really short runs. Like, I was able to do everything 300 or 400 miles in a day. That's not good enough, right? So I noticed I was really frustrated with that one day because I had a load that the dispatch said picked up at 4:15 in the morning, right? Now, it's one of those drop and hook joints that are always late for shit. So I went out the night before, had me a good time, said, I don't have to be there at 4:15. It's no big deal. I was parked right across the street from the place, right? Got up about 8 o'clock the next morning, started up my truck, drove across the street, and I would have kept it under the 5 miles per hour so the ELD never kicked me into driving, but you got to cross a busy street, so I knew I was going to break that 5 miles per hour. Logged the pre-trip, went on over there, and the place tells me it's not ready yet. Well, that load delivered at midnight, and I just started my clock. I was going to do a split sleeper, right? I was going to go like all the way there because it was a real short run, and then do like 8 hours in the sleeper, and then go the rest of the way. And then I was going to do that, like that 2 hours unloading I was going to do in the sleeper. That would have set me up perfect for the very next load that was 100 some miles away that picked up at 6 a.m. Now, the option for that split sleeper just got taken the fuck away from me. I send a message, and I'll be honest with you guys, I am throwing a tantrum in that message because I am sick of this shit, right? I sent a message, said, hey, they're telling me that load's not ready. I've already started my clock. I was going to do this on a split sleeper. Now I can still do this load, but the next load is impossible. There's just no way to do it. I said, on top of that, I got to be honest with you. Here's what I said. Here's what I said in my message. I said, after I had the audacity to ask for time off, I noticed that I've only been running 300 or 400 miles per day. Is there something wrong here? And that was my message. I went back inside to play blackjack for a few hours, because what else did I have to do, right? Come back out to my truck, have an angry, all caps message from my dispatcher that says, Josh, that load has until 2:15 p.m. to be ready. I'm canceling your next load because I understand you don't have time to pick it up next. We'll figure out the next one. And then, what did she say to me? Now the good part. The good part has left my brain. Here it is, I remember. She goes, and I talked to you on the phone yesterday. I'm doing everything I can do to accommodate your odd time off request. But what you need to know is that this trucking company is not a travel agency. We can't just move you around the country wherever you want to go so you can take time off. That company almost had to purchase a new Qualcomm that day. Well, I almost had to purchase a new Qualcomm that day because they would have taken it out of payroll deductions, but I was ready to fuck shit up. How dare she? How dare she equate her lack of getting me home after 5 weeks on the road, and then me having to reschedule everything I had to do to push it out to 3 months total in the truck. Then having to ask for back-to-back weekends off, which I don't even want to do because I don't make any fucking money that way. How dare she equate that to me asking them to perform the services of a fucking travel agency? Have you lost your ever-loving mind, lady? You must be fucking crazy. Now, I wanted to quit. I wanted to, man. I really wanted to. I actually applied for a few places. Fact of the matter is, I don't have even the finances right now to fucking take a week off to get through to another trucking company, get through orientation, and then start making money again. They got my ass right where they want me right now, and there ain't a fucking thing I can do about it. It's not the worst thing ever. I honestly, after all of that, guys, I just need to request a new dispatcher, and I haven't done that yet. Shit, check this out. Oh, you guys are gonna love this if you're still here. Let me know if you're still here for this part at 20 minutes. I got a message today from a different dispatcher saying that all requests for the next week will go through them because check this the fuck out. My dispatcher's on vacation this week. Isn't that adorable? Well, I hope she enjoys her time off. Yeah, all that dispatching's real tough. All that dispatching. So I'm glad she is enjoying her vacation. I'm glad the company has accommodated the dispatchers on time off requests. That is fucking cool. Good for them. I believe in workers' rights. I believe we all should have some time off. So good for the company. But despite all that, I do still like the company overall. They gave me about one bad week of running. After I bitched about my miles, we are absolutely cranking out fucking miles right now. I'm gonna be around 3,700 this week. It's nuts. So that did get me somewhere. They do have the miles. They do. But my dispatcher, she's got her head all the way up her ass. Since they've proven to me they got the miles, I am honestly considering their lease program. I want to talk to someone about it. I want to get someone on the phone because there's something I'm just not connecting. And if I can make that connection, I just might pull the trigger on it. I might. Overall, I still like the company, which I haven't said in a lot of time. They keep me running, and that's what I want. But this dispatcher can go straight to hell. I don't like her. That's it. See you guys next time now. Bye.